once again, welcome back to Injustice 2 Path to Pro, presented by PS4. We're about to get into our, I believe, fourth and final first round match of the day, which is going to be Rifle of the West versus H-Dope.
Now, H-Dope, the brother of K-Top, these guys have played together and trained together for a long time, even though back during Mortal Kombat X even, these guys would consistently play. In some ways, kind of reminds me of me and you, right? Two brothers that play fighting games together, sort of grew up doing it and ended up sort of taking that step into competition. That's what these guys have done in exactly the same degree. They've been doing really well online. Very, very dangerous in the online world of Mortal Kombat.
They did actually
into Injustice 2.
Yeah, they did actually enter a lot of the community cups for Mortal Kombat X. Definitely sort of near
their big performances.
Yeah, near the sort of that very last. The last sort of later stages of Mortal Kombat X, we did a lot of community cups with ESL, through the app and stuff like that. And we did a lot of those. And consistently, K-Top and H-Dope were always there, winning most of them, if not placing very highly in all of them. And they've taken the momentum from those cups, I think, and sort of gone into Injustice 2 with that in mind. And I believe, whereas K-Top plays Superman and Black Adam, his brother H-Dope, I've been told, plays Aquaman.
Now, Aquaman, we haven't seen him today, but he is a very popular character in the game. Ticks a lot of boxes, right? He's got good
very
plus
strong
frames,
character.
Really good damage, good pressure, good plus frames, good defensive options, good buttons, like nice, solid anti-air, some of the best anti-air in the game. Really, really solid character, just plays Injustice 2 to a T, which is no wonder why we see him played as often as we see. Now, Rifle of the West, admittedly, not entirely sure what character this guy plays, so it's going to be quite an interesting element to see at the last moment what is the matchup we're going to see, because in Europe in particular, the Supermans, the Black Adams, the Aquamans, very popular characters, but on the flip side of that, some of the characters, or players I should say, we have qualified already. RZA, who managed to qualify with Darkseid, speaking of the Community Cups and MKX, Mirko, who was really pretty much the dominant force in those Community Cups, qualified last week with Harley Quinn. So there's a bit of character variety in this European qualification process. Foxy Grandpa making week 6 with Catwoman. Very, very dangerous Catwoman at this stage, putting in a lot of time, I think, in preparation for, obviously, EVO, which is, well,
a week away.
It's a week away.
EVO is 1 week away. And who knows, by the next broadcast, we might have the pleasure of saying, hey, these European players placed really well there, maybe even won it, who knows? We can hope. I'm crossing my fingers, we can just hope for the best.
It's kind of crazy how fast time flies. It feels like only a few months ago we were talking about EVO happening already, but either way, it's going to be Supergirl by the looks of things versus, no doubt, Aquaman, which we were expecting to see from H-Dope, but this matchup in particular, I think on paper, I would expect almost Supergirl to have a little bit of struggle. She needs to keep you on the ground to combo into anything, and the Aqua Armor will pretty much shut that down completely.
It's a bit weird, right? Because I've seen this matchup a bunch since launch, but at the same time, Aquaman is going to out-damage you at almost every situation, but you can go toe-to-toe with them footsies. You do have good anti-air options. You do have, teleport can be a good reaction punish on a few things, but at the same time, his trait is such a good answer at getting out of the hit confirms into breath. But I believe he has to, if he traits before the ice hits, he recovers in time to not be frozen. But if he traits while frozen, it doesn't do anything for him. So he's going to have to make sure that he times the Aqua Armor properly.
But clearly we can see that Rifle knows things to do about this matchup, because he landed a successful poke and did not hit confirm into the meter burn freeze, because he knew H-Dope was going to go in for that Aqua Armor. It's one thing you kind of need to respect. You need to understand that when I land a grounded hit, they're going to trait, so I cannot overcommit to this. Otherwise you waste the bar and sometimes get punished. Speaking of bar, spending one of those and already H-Dope with a big chunky amount of damage.
Oh, disrespecting the plus frames though, and he's going to get a little brief bit of the frost breath, which is going to give him a situation. And there we go. Yeah, he actually, you see there, he traded too early. So he traded before the ice actually connected. So he was able to block it in between it. But if it had traded a little bit later after being frozen, it wouldn't have actually saved it.
Quite a little intricate part of the matchup, I think. You wonder how much H-Dope knows about it. Another hit confirm. But you can see how much pressure Rifle's landing, but at the end of the day, you are against Aquaman, who is one of the hardest hitting characters in the game, and the chip alone on that Trident Rush, very scary stuff. Yeah, guaranteed down one.
I think
there
at the
really
very
wasn't
least,
much to do.
Hits very hard off of super practical situations, right? He's going to hit some technical, meter burn technicals from the ground. He's going to hit a bunch of Trident Rushes, and overall, you just cannot underestimate the damage he can output in a very small amount of time. But this pressure coming out from H-Dope,
whipping that back 1-2-3, that final hit, but no result. Unfortunately, that's going to be a forward 3 into a full combo into more corner pressure, but actually opting to throw him out instead. I wonder why. Going in for the low back-to-back. And there's that wake up, a little bit of a desperation move, forcing the wager. Pretty much going to, I reckon, spend maybe 2 bars. I'm expecting him to try and keep one of them. Yeah, kind of needs it if you're Supergirl.
Yeah, there's no way you can just choose to leave yourself with no bar whatsoever. can be very dangerous. At the same time, H-Dope looking super strong so far. Has trait stock downloaded, so is he going to use it in time? No, he's holding on to it.
Maybe saving it for the rest of the round, but that's going to be death. At the last minute. It starts to scale quite heavily, does her corner combos, especially after the float.
Let's not forget, though, now H-Dope has lost his first life bar, but still has access to a trait, to a wager, I should say. Uh-oh, spending the bar. Look at that chip damage adding up so fast. And he has another one too, but he's going to hit confirm into the... wow, from the deep meter burn into a full combo. That's probably going to take it, yes, and that's what we say, Aquaman damage. How about that?
Rifle did not have enough bar to go for the air escape, which in that case, when you've used a clash, the only way to survive a combo is to use an air escape if you get caught in a juggle. And at that point, didn't have enough bard. But that's one element in this matchup that's going to be a bit of a pain in the backside, I think, if you're playing a Supergirl. You pretty much need your bar all the time because you need it for any combos. It's to land those conversions into meter burn, ice breath. You kind of need to spend bar to push block the Trident Rush to prevent free damage on block. So if you're Supergirl, you kind of almost need to make a choice. Do I take combo damage or do I basically concede the free chip damage of that Trident Rush?
We're going into second match now. Tries to get the first hit. Oh, actually does go in the way of H-Dope, but already we've seen how crucial meter can be in this matchup. And Rifle only just builds one bar thanks to the damage he took. Nice hard knockdown setup from H-Dope into more pressure. And well, only just built that second bar. And look at how much he's doing already. This is a mauling.
Presses buttons in between the back 1, 2, 3, but just taking guaranteed chip ring again. It doesn't quite manage to get the health, but the aqua armor to just shut it down. And I think Rifle just trying to establish space. No, that could have been a full combo, but the drop. No aqua armor. It's going to be quite a while before he gets it back, so Rifle needs to make sure he makes the most of this. Goes for the wake up, doesn't quite get it.
There's that Trident Rush, the tried and true. H-Dope with a nice clean 50% life lead at least right now.
That's that anti-air. Very hard to jump into Aquaman when he's got that down too. Oh no, fumbles his punish. That's gonna be free chip. No push block. Rifle trying to keep hold of the meter. Tagged by the low though. Gonna be quite a while before he has his aqua armor, so maybe might even get hit one more time before he has a chance to pop it.
Nice corner repositioning, but I'm not sure if he drops it or just lets him fall deliberately. A nice trade situation from RifuloftheWest, but that speck of life, any damage that H-Dope can deal right now is free damage. He is on that magic pixel, probably gonna lose it, but all this damage completely unnecessary. Goes for the unclashable. Is he going to take this one anyway? And there we go, there's that sweep. But look at how much life Rifle lost in the process.
That was still a win for H-Dope. He did so much damage before he lost that final spec. That this comeback is a huge ask. We'll see if he can pull it off. Spending a lot of meter on those lasers. And by meter, I mean meter of the character power.
Oh, look how much chip that's doing by itself. This is a tough situation. Gets the trip guard, but once again, the aqua armor saving him from that guaranteed combo. And a nice hit confirm into super. That's going to work, and that's going to do it.
You very rarely see that super in tournament. Aquaman normally spending all of his bar on combos or Trident Rushes. Didn't need it. The shark.
It was smart, though.
Appearance.
You know, Super's being unclashable, Rifle still having his clash available, and a lot of bar at the same time, so Costas wasting no time. H-Dope, I should say, goes in for that hit confirm super, takes a clean game, a 2-0 lead already.
That used to be really confusing, and the gamer tag is Costas and Harris, which is clearly the two brothers.
Costas is K-Top's name, Harris is H-Dope's name, but H-Dope plays on Costas and Harris account.
Yeah, and K-Top plays on K-Top H-Dope account, which is the two names combined as well.
It is confusing.
Lordy, that's confusing.
Already though, as I can say that though, H-Dope a clean 2 games up immediately. Actually seems like almost no time at all since this set started, and already we feel ourselves potentially 1 game away from the end of it. Unless Rifle can make something happen now. Locks himself in with Supergirl again, but this is looking like quite a tough matchup.
It does look not that favorable, doesn't it? The aqua armor being able to basically shut down the #1 way Supergirl is going to get any damage whatsoever means that when you open up Aquaman, you almost have to do double the work against Aquaman than you do anyone else in the game, because the second you hit him, you've got to wait for that one chance he pops the trait, and then you have to open him up again. Like right there, normally.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, you point out what we just saw there.
So the aqua armor has received a nerf from Injustice 1 to now. So if he's blocking anything, obviously, you know, using the aqua armor to get yourself out of the guarantee combo, any attack that you block with the aqua armor up, you take full damage from it as if it hit you. So he used Aqua Armor to get out of the meter burn trait, the eye laser beam. But because it was blocking the whole thing, it was doing full amount of damage even though he was blocking it. So if Rifle can force him in a situation again like that and make him use Aqua Armor at a bad time, he can definitely get a lot more mileage out of this trait.
That does mean that low mix up into the input is laser meter burn, but it doesn't actually cost any bar. That's just how you execute
it just costs
the
all
mega
of your bar, right? So you can see as she spends a little bit of bar at a time on these lasers, using that enhanced version that just does it all in one go, uses the whole bar.
Unfortunately, Rifle not able to seal that final piece of life again, but he cannot repeat with the last time.
Or not to drone. Oh, teleport!
Yeah, I mean, that's worth the risk in that situation. Caught the jump, been able to tie things up 1 round apiece in this potential final match, but that technical strike does a big amount of damage. Can't take too many of those. Oh no! Speaking of which, gets hit by another one because that's a full punish.
It's going to be a guaranteed amount of life back now if he spends everything, but at the very least can keep things neutral. Is H-Duck going to go for it? Yo, spends 1, so he's still going to get himself 15%, so a nice chunk regardless.
Back to this very, very slow pace neutral, but the second you get within back 1, 2, 3 distance, I don't think Rifle wants to hold too many more, but with back 1, 2, 3 being as plus as it is, there's only so much you can do. Another hit confirm, that's going to be unclashable 4-3s, but no, actually, opting to go for instead because the clash has already been spent.
Good block coming out from H-Dope. Oh no! Oh, last minute, I don't think Rifle was ready for that to connect at all. He's going to get thrown away. A little bit of health, that's it. That tracking from the deep, that tentacle, is going to do more than enough to take the 3rd game.
So what we basically saw there was why Aquaman seems to do quite well against Supergirl, I feel. He just has... Supergirl doesn't do much damage anyway. And
hard for her to open him up. When she does, he's got Aqua Armor. He out-damages her. He's got answers for full screen pressure. He's got amazing footsies, just like she does. Good down one, trident rush. I mean, and like you said, right, I think it was one of the most important things you called quite early on is needing to push block from the trident rush, I should say. When you need to push block the meter burn trident rush, taking that bar away from her and just trading bar for bar is really punishing on her specifically because she needs that bar to just do any damage whatsoever.
But on the flip side of that, she doesn't do damage anyway, and now you've taken into account when she finally does manage to land a hit and open up Aquaman. Clearly, the Aqua Armor was a dangerous tool to counter Supergirl with. So I think if you're going to play Supergirl, like many of the characters in the game that aren't really of that absolute top tier currently, currently really being the key word, the game is still being developed. We're still finding these things here and there every day with new characters. But with Supergirl specifically, I feel like some of these characters just demand a backup. If you're going to play Supergirl, I personally really wouldn't pick her into Aquaman at all.
Especially if you have an option, though. I mean, of course, we see a lot of character loyalists in fighting games. It's definitely one of the most common things we do see, and people that just really specialize in that one. But sometimes you just can't. Look at some of the better players, the more successful players we have in the NetherRealm community right now. Sort of the big one being Sonic Fox. I can't remember the last time he played one character in any game.
It's been a long time. I mean, during maybe the early days of MKX, where it was pretty much just Aaron Black, and then he kind of threw a little bit of Katana in the mix, and then very shortly followed up with the team, and then many of the top players started to follow teams of characters rather than individual characters, and then Injustice 2 straight away into teams.
I actually feel like the best example of this, though, is Biohazard. Biohazard was a Bane just god, and Injustice 1 was like the Bane master, especially in North America and sort of Canada. Going into Injustice 2, remembered what matchups he didn't like fighting with Bane in Injustice 1, matchups he would play in tournament and would consistently lose to characters that just beat Bane with ease. Going into Injustice 2, still plays Bane, but now has Harley Quinn as a main backup. And the two characters together are giving him a massive amount of tournament success because he went in having that favorite character, but other characters to complement the matchups you just simply can't play them in.
Well, I think that's definitely the future of Injustice 2, I would definitely agree.
But now at least.
So our initial stage of top 8 is now finished. We're moving into our semi-finals where we have 4 players lying in wait looking to take that top spot for this week. While we get our next match set up, we're going to go for a quick break. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back.